We have some buy or sell items, relievers to add, and a bunch of news next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Tuesday, May 18th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Chris Towers. And let's start off with Shohei Ohtani, who hit his 13th home run on Monday. He now leads baseball. Chris, buy or sell, Ohtani has been the fantasy MVP to this point.
I think he's kind of got to be. He might be actually more valuable in real life than in fantasy, just because in so few fantasy leagues can you actually use him the way the Angels do. But in those leagues, I don't think there's any question. You're getting an elite hitter and a very good pitcher out of one roster spot. But even if you've just only used him as a hitter all season, he's been a top 5 hitter in fantasy, and he was being drafted. Eventually he got closer to the 100 range, but his ADP was 150 or so. So I think he's got to be there. You can make a case for John Means, who's been a top 5 starting pitcher. I think he's the other option because his ADP was outside of the top 500 or top 200, but it's been a lot harder to find a hitter who can perform like Shohei Ohtani than a pitcher who could perform like John Means this season.
Yeah, 100%. Ohtani performing across the board. Batting average lower than you would expect, 263, but the underlying numbers still look really good. 13 homers, 6 steals, 30 runs, 32 RBI. Yeah. He's been absolutely fantastic. How about Adolis Garcia, who went 2 for 4 with his 11th home run on Monday and his 4th steal of the season. The 11th home run came off of Garrett Cole. Adolis Garcia is batting 296. Chris, buy or sell, he is a top 40 outfielder rest of season.
I'll buy that in a roto league. I do have him in that range. Points, it's going to be harder because his plate discipline is so bad. And I do worry just in general in roto or points, whether his plate discipline is eventually going to catch up with him. But man, outfielder's so bad right now that I think you could almost get him into the top 30 and it wouldn't be out of the question. So yeah, I'll buy him as a top 40 guy.
How about his teammate, Willie Calhoun, who went 2 for 4 with a home run and a double on Monday? Again, both off of Garrett Cole, one of the best pitchers in the league. Willie Calhoun now batting 287 with an 828 OPS. He's only 55% rostered. Please go add him in CBS leagues. Chris, buy or sell? I'd rather have Willie Calhoun than his teammate, Adolis Garcia, rest of season.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I did move Calhoun right up to the, I think it was 30 or 31 in points and roto. He's probably a little better in points because he doesn't strike out much, but he should be a good source of batting average too, while hitting for power, which makes him very good in roto as well. He could be a 4 category guy. So I think in either format, yeah, I'd rather have Calhoun, but don't go dropping Adolis Garcia for Willie Calhoun. You probably have a worse hitter than Adolis Garcia at this point. Yeah. I know I have them in every league.
Yeah, just reap the benefits of both of these Rangers outfielders because they both have been amazing this year. I've been waiting so long for Willie Calhoun to be this great, so I'm very excited for him right now. Chris, let's take a look at some relief pitchers who may be available in your categories leagues. And Tyler Rogers picked up his 2nd save in as many days for the San Francisco Giants. He is 34% rostered. And Michael Fulmer has the last 2 saves for the Detroit Tigers. He is 19% rostered. Which one would you rather have, Tyler Rogers or Michael Fulmer?
I think it's Rogers. If you have to pick one of them up right now, Rogers is the guy. But I will say, I think Fulmer could end up being a much more impactful reliever overall than Rogers. The strikeout potential, I think, particularly could be much higher if he, can up that working out of the bullpen. So if he is the Tigers closer, I think he could be a very, very good closer.
We had a ton of news on Monday, so let's start with Mike Trout, who left Monday night's game with a right calf strain, and he's spent some time on the IL the past couple of years. My guess is he will require an IL stint, although that's just pure speculation on my part. Chris, do you think we see either of Joe Adell or Brandon Marsh, 2 of the top prospects in the Angels organization?
Neither one of them is off to a particularly good start. They're actually both hitting the ball okay, but Adell has a 42% strikeout rate. Marsh has a 35% strikeout rate. It's less than 2 weeks into the season, so you don't want to go panicking yet, but I would think that they want to keep one or both of them down, and we could see Luis Rengifo or someone like that, Scott Schebler, who was already up with the major league team at one point. I think we'll probably see those guys before Marsh or Adele.
Yeah, I agree. Those guys are they're striking out too much right now, and Marsh just returned from an injury himself recently, so I don't think we're going to see them anytime soon. Huascar Ynoa fractured his right hand, pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, punching a dugout bench and will miss 2 months. Tucker Davidson, a top 10 prospect in the Braves organization, was recalled, and he's a name that you could look at in deeper leagues, definitely in NL only, and some dynasty formats as well. Danny Duffy was placed on the IL with a left forearm flexor strain. Chris Bubich will replace him in the rotation. And a bunch of Mets news. Michael Conforto and Jeff McNeil landed on the IL. Kevin Pillar was hit in the face with a pitch on Monday, so we hope he's all right. And Noah Syndergaard is starting a rehab assignment this week. Could be back early to mid-June. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.